Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Altitude Sickness Podcast. I am Tony, and I'm being joined by Matthew and Drew. How are we doing?
Not too bad. Had a good weekend. Didn't catch too much of the Rockies, but it seemed like I didn't miss too much either. So,
Yeah,
Not a fun weekend. Less fun than the week prior, for sure.
yeah, yeah. A bit of a brutal week in terms of team success wise. A bit of a brutal one, as you'll see in a sec when we start talking about these series. Um, but yeah, I think that's just the point of the season that we're at. Because, the Rockies didn't make many trades, so it's not like the team is significantly worse than it was before. But we definitely are. I think moving on from um two bullpen guys, even if, Vodnik was not amazing. And Senzatella, I mean, in all fairness, was pretty solid. Like, moving on from two guys like that, it's gonna hurt. And I mean, this bullpen already is very not good. So it's like losing any piece is probably not a good thing. And so, but and also this is the time when teams are really starting to ramp it up as we get closer to October, and they want to win more than ever at this point. And so it's like the Rockies have got to do what they can do to prevent that from happening, and we'll see how well that they can do at that. But if it's anything like this week, this is not a good omen and not a good start to that process. Because the Rockies hosted the Rays, the Tampa Bay Rays, last like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I think, or whatever. And by all accounts, just pretty brutal series. First game, Lorenzen, as he has so often done, gets shelled because that's just what he does. Pitches only 3 innings, allowing 7 earned runs, walking 3 guys, and did not even strike anyone out. And unfortunately, it seems like this happens a lot with the Rockies. In a game where the starting pitcher doesn't even give them a chance is the game that the offense decides to really show up. And of everyone, it was Ezekiel Tovar, probably his best game of the year, and it's probably not even close. He had a 4-hit barrage, including a home run. And so that was really, really good to see. Like, it felt like vintage Tovar. Like, it felt like he was actually like seeing the ball well, not getting it upside down counts, and figuring his thing out. Moniak, and this was the day of his extension, or the day that people found out about his extension, that we talked about last week. That happened actually during our pod last week. He had 2 hits, including a 2-run home run. That was big. Carrig and Karros both had 2 hits as well. But unfortunately, the pitching, as it's done all year this year, just really came up short and just did not give them a chance to win. And they fall 13-9. Like, you're not gonna win many games that you allow 13 runs. Like, you're just not. You're probably not gonna win any of them. And it's unfortunate. Again, Rockies score 9 runs. You should win every one of those games, and they just unfortunately don't in that one. Second game, kind of the same thing, not quite to the same extent, but it was unfortunately the first bad start, I could argue, for Gabe Hughes. Only going 5 1/3 innings, which is solid enough, but allowing 5 earned runs is pretty brutal. And again, Tampa Bay, best team in the AL right now, but still not great. He had 7 strikeouts, though. He struck a lot of guys out, so that was good, but 2 walks is never going to be great. And again, just the same story in a night that the starting pitching doesn't give him a chance. The offense shows up and does their thing. McCarthy with 3 hits. Moniak and Castro both had home runs. Tovar again with 2 hits, including a double. So he had a pretty solid series. Jordan Beck, my king, finally made his glorious return. And gets a triple in his first at-bat. Don't talk about what he did in the next 2. He struck out twice, but it's fine. And they had a chance to win in the 10th inning. This one goes to extras. In the 10th inning, at one point they had second and third with 1 out. And Kevin Cash, the Rays manager, decides to pitch a lefty to Hunter Goodman. He challenged Hunter Goodman, and unfortunately, and with Jake McCarthy on third, who is the fastest guy on our team, you just need a halfway decent fly ball, and that game is over. And unfortunately, he got enough of a jam shot that it was just not deep enough for Jake McCarthy to score. And then TJ Rumfield lined out on the next pitch, pretty much, and go to the 11th. Nick Frasso makes his debut for the Rockies, and it is not exactly a great situation to be put in, so I don't even blame him. He ends up giving up 2 runs in that inning. The Rockies lose in 11 innings, 9-7. Just really annoying. And I'm not going to lie, like, little tangent here. That type of throw them into the fire debut is very reminiscent of a Bud Black move from last year that I am not happy with. I think that is really dumb because that's how you instantly shatter anyone's confidence. Pitchers are already not going to be confident going into Coors Field regardless. Let alone this guy being a young guy that you traded for, you just called him up, and now you're like, hey, on top of the fact that you have to make your debut at Coors Field, you also have a runner on second to start the inning against the Rays offense. So good luck.
Which that's one of the harder offenses to beat because they're not a boom or bust home run team. They play small ball. And that's how singles will tear you apart when there's a runner on second, no one out.
Yeah.
And the Rays did exactly that. They won the game with ease.
Yes.
It wasn't very hard for them. And so that made it even more difficult for Frasso. And I don't blame him. I'm not mad at him at all. I'm mad at the coaching for putting a guy in that scenario when you do have other options.
Yeah. I
agree. It's not like the bullpen was expensed. With such long outings, the bullpen having to go 6 innings for 3 days. Like, yes, the day before was pretty rough for the bullpen, but I'm pretty sure
they had to
Tanner Gordon go in.
I'm pretty sure he took a bulk of those innings after Lorenzen got shelled.
Okay, that's what I thought. So, because I remember the bullpen being
Tanner
relatively fresh.
Tanner Gordon pitched the rest of the game, all 6 innings. So they used 2 pitchers.
And especially coming off a series and an off day where the Rockies, it was really all starters, essentially. So now, the bullpen was fresh.
I guess, in all fairness, in that game alone, in the second game, the Rockies somehow used 7 pitchers. I get it that it went to 11 innings, but that's insane. 7 pitchers, and also in a game where your starter didn't go only 3. He went 5 1/3. Bernardino got the rest of the outs in the 6th inning, and then Mashinsky, Mejia, Romano, Herget, Frasso all pitched 1 innings. Wasn't this, and this is just another thing, wasn't this the team that I feel like was like preaching we want our guys to be multi-inning guys at the beginning of the year? Where did that go? It's like the same thing we talked about with the Rockies just up and just forgetting that you can steal bases. Like, it's like the 2 huge things that I feel like this team was doing more so than ever at the beginning of the year was stealing bases a lot and having the bullpen throw multiple innings. And
they were successful with that too.
Yeah, and they're like, I don't know. I think part of it could just be Warren Schaefer still new to managing, and this is his first time having to manage a full season as opposed to the 3/4 season that he had last year. And he's probably hitting that wall a little bit. At the same time, though, I mean, bro, I don't know. Like, I'm not a huge fan of that one, in all fairness. I just don't think you put Frasso in that position. It's just,
I believe. Did he have any major league innings before? Or
no, that was his major league debut.
You can't. You just can't do that.
No.
Like, I don't care if you go throw Agnos in there.
Yeah.
I really don't. Like, I get it, Agnos isn't great, but at least he has some high leverage experience.
Yeah.
And him blowing up that game wouldn't ruin his confidence as much as a guy fresh out of AAA.
Yeah, because that's a coming off of that Monday game that we just talked about, where only 2 pitchers were used, and then if you're like, oh well, that's Sunday game. That's the last Sunday game. Freeland pitched a complete game, so they did not use another reliever. So there is really no excuse there. So, but whatever. Rockies lose that game, and honestly, they fully deserve to lose that game. Not scoring in the bottom of the 10th, you've got to manage to get a run there.
In an ideal scenario,
yeah,
without saying the bases are loaded with no outs, there's not a better scenario than Jake McCarthy being on third
and your
biggest power hitter,
yes,
who hits a lot of balls in the air.
Yeah.
Like, that was an ideal scenario. I thought the game was over.
Against the lefty, too. Against the lefty.
The Rockies are actually going to win a game against a good team in extra innings, and then they didn't. And as soon as they didn't score, I was like, yeah.
No, yeah. It's just that's how it goes. And then, unfortunately, getaway day, the last day, maybe Rockies can pull their thing where they can get, that last win. Not today. Sagano was fine. He pitched 5 innings, allowing 3 runs. It's kind of just what he does. We've said this before. He's not going to win you a game, but he's not going to lose you a game. Because allowing 3 runs over 5 innings at Coors Field is, I think, totally fine. Because you should be able to score something like that at Coors. Foreshadowing they don't. The offense, just absolutely non-existent. After being insane, of course, the 2 days that the starting pitching is bad, offense pops off. The day that the starting pitching is at least fine, offense is terrible. Karros had 2 hits, and Beck had a double, which was a bloop double, which just fell between 2 players, and that was the only extra base hit the Rockies had the entire game, and the Rockies get shut out 4-0. That one, very forgettable, just could not do anything against, I think it was Nick Martinez was pitching for the Rays, he's a contact guy, and of course, normally that spells bad things, but not when you're facing the Rockies, apparently.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Rockies just get swept by the Rays. They're a better opponent. That's the thing. They're a better team, a much better team. It is what it is. But then the Rockies now, they start their longest road trip of the year. And they start in St. Louis. So they go and play the Cardinals, who historically they have played very poorly against. And in that first game, Ryan Feltner was fine, pretty much almost identical stat line to what Sagano did the previous game. 5 1/3 innings, 3 runs, 3 walks, which is never good, only 2 strikeouts. Unfortunately for this one, the offense overall was good, except for when there was runners in scoring position. They were 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. McCarthy had 3 hits and a double. Rumfield had 3 hits, and the bullpen did their thing. Bernardino, Herget, and Frasso pitched a scoreless 2 2/3 innings combined, but unfortunately there was just no clutch hitting for the Rockies in this one as they lose 3-2. And I want to go back to this box score because I find this one really, really funny. The Rockies out-hit the Cardinals 10-4 in this game and lost 3-2. That's just insane to think about. How you can get 10 hits and only score 2 runs. Now, granted, there were only 2. There were 3 extra base hits. One from McCarthy, and then Moniak and Willie Castro. But they just couldn't do anything. It's just brutal. And what's crazy is both the RBIs were both Troy Johnston RBI groundouts. So the only runs they scored were getting an out as well.
Yeah.
So
they were like almost identical plays. Mm-hmm. I think the only difference was Tovar was on second the first time, and then I think Moniak was on second the second time or something like that.
Yeah, just that's how it goes.
Yeah, it was.
It's funny. But yep. And then second game, Freeland was good, not quite as good as his previous start where he pitched a complete game against the Royals. Unfortunately, this one was just there were too many pitches in that first inning, and it was mainly because Hunter Goodman botched a drop third strike that would have ended the inning, and unfortunately, I've said this many times. Feels like the moment the Rockies make any mistake on defense, they are instantly punished for it. And that happened here, where the Cardinals ended up scoring 2 runs right off of that, both unearned, but still. So he goes 4 1/3 innings, allowing 3 runs, but only 1 earned. 3 walks is not great, and then 3 strikeouts. But luckily, the offense actually did show up here and did a little bit more. Jake McCarthy he was a wrecking ball in this series. 4 hits, including 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. Cole Carrig had 2 hits, including a double and 2 RBI. And then TJ Rumfield had two hits and a walk and an RBI. So all of them doing their thing. And the bullpen was pretty shaky near the end of the game. Kind of scaring me a bit. Jimmy Herget, again, allowing another run. Jimmy Herget just has not been the same, unfortunately. And then Bernardino and Romano allowing runs in the 8th and 9th inning. But luckily, Rockies end up winning this one 8-6. So that was good to see that they got that. So they go on into the Sunday rubber match, where Lorenzen got the start, which is usually never a good sign. But he was actually fine. He really got unlucky in this one. There were a few bad breaks that he caught in that first inning that just rose his pitch count like crazy. Where he ended up going 4 1/3 innings, allowing 2 earned runs with 3 walks and a strikeout. Brett Sullivan hit a home run, a 2-run home run. He also had just another hit with 2 RBIs, so he had a great day at the plate. Hunter Goodman ties the game in the top of the 8th inning, I think it was. He had 2 hits with the home run and 2 RBIs, so he was doing his thing. 2 more hits for McCarthy, so he was just doing great, including a leadoff double. But unfortunately, the bullpen it's just time and time again. Bullpen just can't hold it down. This time it's Tanner Gordon and Parker Mashinsky. Unfortunately, blowing it late, and the Rockies do end up losing this one, 7-4. So they end up losing the rubber match and the series, going 1-5 on the week, which is just really, really brutal. And I've got just a little stat here. So rubber matches, and when I say that, I mean Game 3 of a series that is tied going into Game 3, which the Rockies have found themselves in a decent amount this year, and they have not been that great in them. They're now, after that Cardinals loss, they're 3-13 in those games, which is just really bad. Like, that is just really bad. And we've talked about it a lot. It feels like there's that third game that the Rockies just can't win. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's because they're just gassed. I don't know if it's because the bullpen gets used too much in the beginning of the series and then they just have to go to their back end guys that aren't that good or whatever it is. But unfortunately, that's just the nature of it this year. And they have just not been good in those games. And so overall, just a really frustrating and not that great. Like, offensively, it went. They either had a great game offensively or an awful game, and there was no between. Because, they get shut out in the one game against the Rays. They were 0 for 10 in runners in scoring position. But then all the other games, they scored 7 runs, they scored 9 runs, they scored 8 runs, and then they scored only 4 runs in that last game, but 4 runs is solid enough. So I don't know. I don't really think that the offense has been the issue recently. It's really been the pitching just has not been able to let them stay in games, which is just really unfortunate, but it is what it is. That's what they're looking to get better. But we'll see. Does anyone have anything else on the series?
I've been trying to find it and I can't find it, but I'm pretty sure that Kyle Freeland's complete game was actually on like the MLB top 20 plays or something of the week. It was like number 13, I think, so it didn't get on the top 10 plays of the week, but I just thought it was neat. I was watching it at a bar yesterday and I happened to see it. But yeah, I thought that was funny.
That's good.
So good for him.
Yeah, I did see...
I mean,
go on.
These games, these really close games, are going to be the difference between them winning, them not, or I guess we'll be positive, them winning 63 games or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'll talk about it more in a second, but since they did not trade, it wasn't a fire sale in Denver by any means.
Yeah.
I think their goal should be to not lose 100 games.
Yeah. That's what our next segment is. Yeah, this has been a thing really going around, I think, a lot of Rockies media right now, just because we're getting to that point where it's really starting to come pretty close to the end of the season. And the question is just a very simple one. Does it matter if the Rockies lose 100 games? Now, again, first off, it's really, like, think about that question. It's really sad that that's where we're at in the state of Rockies fandom, that this is what's important, is let's not lose 100 games for the fourth straight season. Which, dude, 400 losses in 4 years is just crazy. But that's just where they are. Currently, I believe the last team to lose 100 games 4 times in a row, I want to say it was the Washington, Senators or something like that. Hold on, I'm looking it up because I saw that that was a stat, but it's just one of those questions that I feel like a lot of people, you land on both sides. I've seen a lot of the people that are pro get all the prospects up and all that stuff be like, no, it doesn't matter. And yes, sure, I get it. It doesn't matter. And I think if this wasn't the 4th season in a row, I would agree. I think if this was the 2nd or 3rd, I would 100% agree. If this was last year, I would agree. But I do think that there is some merit to the opinion of not wanting to lose 100 games for the 4th straight season. Because, that's just awful. I don't really know how else to describe it.
I mean, I think that this is any progress is good progress, I think, and the fact that we're actually fighting to not lose 100 games instead of just clearly expecting to lose 100 games is definitely a step in the right direction, even if it's not the greatest step. We were hoping for maybe a little bit better of a step, but also it's better than just kind of accepting 100 losses again, because that's not fun.
So I'm tired of the... Sorry.
No, you're good. Go for it.
I'm tired of the Rockies making history. They did enough of that last year.
Yeah.
I do not need them matching a record from a team that has been rebranded. So I'm assuming the Washington Senators was quite some time ago.
Maybe it wasn't them. I'm looking it up, but it wasn't them. But anyway, go on.
I'm sure it was before the Rockies' inception was the last time they were.
I believe that is the case.
So that's long enough. And as a fan, personally, I have never seen them not lose 100 games.
Yeah,
and because this is my 4th season as a fan.
Yeah.
So it is a milestone for me. And selfishly, this is my only take this year that isn't ice cold yet. This is probably my only take ever about the Rockies that isn't ice cold yet. So, and I was huge on this. You can roll the tape from before the season started. I was huge on this. But I was confident that the Rockies were not losing 100 games. So the fact that that's not dead yet is great.
Yeah.
And I think it is a step in the right direction. Because if you look at it, that means they still improved with getting rid of last season as a whole. Mm-hmm. So if you look at 23 and 24 and just scrap 25, they've still improved over that amount of time.
Yeah.
Which is totally fine with me. And especially for a first-year front office. We've liked most of their moves so far, so I think they're headed in the right direction. So, does it really matter? From a front office perspective, no. Or a baseball perspective, no. But from a fan perspective, I think it should matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I
guess I have one more point. Sorry.
Go on.
with the argument of like putting these young guys in early, like this is their time. Kind of the antithesis of this entire front office coming in is that we're not just going to put young guys in because they need time to develop.
Mm-hmm.
They need to earn the spot. Now, I do think Veen has earned the spot, and he hasn't been called up yet, so that's a different argument. But just generally, the Rockies are losing. Let's just put all the young guys in. Has been a detriment to, I think, a lot of players' development over the last few years, and that's also not what this front office is trying to accomplish at this time. So,
I agree.
I guess I've always understood that sentiment, but yeah, it just doesn't seem like it ever actually works.
We've seen guys get put in too early. We've seen it all the time, and their careers just get tarnished
because it kills their confidence. They're down there prepping to get better, and then they come up and they just have no. Yeah, they get crapped on, and then they're just not. Yeah, and then they kind of just stunts their development.
We never see him again, and then in 2 years they get DFA'd, and then it's like, oh, I remember that guy. Sucked.
Yeah.
Or they get sent to the White Sox and hit 195.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
And now the Mariners.
Oh, with Nolan Jones, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of old Rockies farm hands not doing the best. Says something about our draft and development. Anyway, I did find the stats. So it was the Washington Senators and the New York Mets were about the same time, were the last two teams that lost 100 games 4 years in a row. And the Mets, it was their first 4 years existing because they didn't have anything. So it's like they had to do the expansion draft and all that. So like they had no. They started in 1962. So there was the Mets were part of the big expansion in the 60s. But yeah, they were really bad to start. But the Senators were like an established team as opposed to a brand new team. So it is a lot worse if you're an established team.
When was that? When for the Senators?
The Senators was 1961 through 64. So literally right at that same time.
So I believe my parents were both born in 1963.
Mm-hmm.
So that is I don't want the Rockies to make more history. They did plenty of that last year. I don't want to see anymore. So that my parents are 60-ish. I think they might be 61 now, but they're old. And so yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah.
So yes, does it matter? Yes.
Yeah.
And any fan can kiss my behind.
Yeah. So as of recording right now, I forgot what the Rockies record is. Hold on, give me 1 sec. I just had it up. I'm so annoyed. They are 46 and 72 as of right now, before the game tonight against the Diamondbacks. So the Rockies need to go 17 and 27 to lose 99 games. Now, I'm not gonna lie. When I see 17 and 27, that seems kind of daunting.
It does.
But looking at it, the Rockies winning that winning percentage, the current winning percentage that they have right now with their record is 38.9%, if you want to call it that. So about 39%. Where the winning percentage needed to get that is 38.6, which is pretty much 39%. So they are pretty much on that same trajectory if they were to continue playing at the same pace that they are now. And now, granted, even a week ago, this would look a lot easier because, we wouldn't have gone 1-5 yet. So that's the stuff that the Rockies have to avoid, are these bad 1-5 weeks, because the Rockies aren't going to have the 5-1 weeks. They're not going to have that. It's just a simple, that's not going to happen. And so they need to minimum win one game from every series, plus a few more. Because if they win one game every series, it's a 33% winning percentage, and that's just not going to be quite enough. So you've got to split a 4-gamer or win a few of those series, which, looking at the remaining schedule, it's scary. They have the Diamondbacks, They have the Giants, but in San Francisco where they never play well. Against the Dodgers, Cleveland, 4 against Washington, 3 against Atlanta, 3 against Baltimore, 3 more against St. Louis, 3 in New York against the Yankees, 3 in Detroit, 4 at home against 4 against the Padres at home, 3 against Seattle at home, 3 against Arizona at home, and then they finish on the road in Chicago against the White Sox. So it's an interesting mix. It's really hard to say.
It's really poor positioning because, like, let's say the Rockies finish with the Dodgers. The Dodgers are going to win the division. They don't give a hoot.
Mm-hmm.
We're finishing the year with Padres, who are going to be fighting for a playoff spot.
Yes.
Mariners, who are maybe out of it at that point, but we'll see.
They'll probably still fighting, ish.
Diamondbacks fighting for a playoff spot.
And the White Sox
fighting to win their division.
Yeah. So we're going to be playing teams that want to win.
Unfortunate ending.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, there are some series in there where I think the Rockies can win. Like, after they get through this NL West stretch, like, then they play the Guardians, which I think, at home, I think it's possible they could win 2 out of 3.
I think they
match up
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they match up really well against the Guardians because it's not like the Rays. The Rays are an unbeatable team for the Rockies just of their play style.
Yeah.
They're very consistent. They play small ball. And with the Rockies' head case pitchers, small ball just destroys them mentally. They just melt.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing with the Nationals.
Yeah.
They've been competitive. And the Orioles when the Orioles started selling. So those are going to be really key series that they need to win if they want to keep this alive because their last 2 weeks of baseball are going to be hell.
Oh, man. It's going to stink, too, because, dude, that'll be football season, too, bro. That's going to be rough watching, honestly. Those will be rough games. So, but it is what it is. So, that's where we all land. I think we all are pretty much in agreement that I think it does matter. The losing 100 games or not losing 100 games, I think it does matter. So I would say that. But does anyone else have anything else on that before we move on to the next segment? All right. Cool. So next segment, we've got Players of the Week. And now while, again, like I said, the Rockies as a team, record-wise, not great week. But I made mention of it. One dude was just on fire, and that was Jake McCarthy. This dude, Rake McCarthy, as he has now been dubbed. This dude was absolutely insane this week. He hit 519 for the week, which is crazy. With a 1352 OPS, 14 total hits, 23 total bases, 8 runs scored. I think he also had at least 3 home runs. He at least had 2 or 3 home runs.
Yeah.
So
I think 3.
He was just absolutely insane.
He's a 5-tool player if you take away his noodle arm.
So he's a 4-tool
This
player.
week, he was a 5-tool.
Okay. And doing that also from the leadoff spot, because he's been our leadoff guy since I don't even know. Like April on.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So that's been awesome to see.
Extend him. Moniac extend him.
Like
I don't care.
It's an interesting one. I think they might wait until after next year, or maybe they will do it at the end of this year. Who knows?
They have a lot more control.
Yeah.
Versus Moniac. So,
but we'll just have to see what they want to do.
One thing I would like to say also is that Jake McCarthy puts the Rockies in the best situation to succeed. He gets his leadoff single or double. He gets his leadoff single and steals second, or gets his leadoff double.
Mm-hmm.
Who more would you rather have on second base with Moniac, Goodman, and Rumfield coming up back?
Yeah.
They could not have been put in a better scenario, and Jake did that all week. It just sucks that obviously the teams lost all the games but one.
Mm-hmm.
But Yeah, I'm pro McCarthy. Now that they didn't trade him, like clearly he's a part of D plan, or else he would have been traded.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
Pay the man later. But
Yeah.
keep him a Rocky because he's very exciting.
I-
If he
I-
gets extended, I'm getting a McCarthy jersey.
I think that he just fits the play style that succeeds at Coors. Like, I think that's why they went and got him, was because he succeeds in a way at Coors that I think other players don't, because his speed is such a threat. He will make normal singles for people into doubles, or he'll make an average double into a triple. And he already has 2 in the park home runs this year. Like, it's crazy to think about that. Like, we have not had someone this fast, like, ever. Because he's faster than even Brenton Doyle at top speed. So, like, especially running the bases. So, I think it just, his play style works for Coors Field. And I like it. I like it a lot. And I'm really glad that he won the honors. I don't know if you saw, Bob Nightingale actually posted something about it. He tweeted about how he won it, and then I think Willie or Abreu won it for the Red Sox this week in the AL. And he quote tweeted that, and he said Jake McCarthy's response to him winning this was, "I didn't even know that was an award."
I didn't know to believe it or not. I saw it on Twitter. It wasn't from him, but I saw it from somebody posting it, and I didn't know. I was going to bring it up, but I didn't know if it was real.
Yeah, I saw it from Bob Nightingale. He said that, so I think that's really funny. So that was it for the major league teams awards. But we actually had 2 minor league awards come out for this week. One of them, I think a very obvious one, was Zach Veen. He pretty much did what Jake McCarthy did, but even better at the minor league level. He hit .478 for the week with 2 doubles, a triple, and 4 home runs with 10 RBIs in this week. He was just absolutely insane. Especially with that one game, the one game where I think 17 total bases, I think it was, because it was 3 home runs, a triple, and a double. It was just absolutely insane. Yeah, it was really awesome. And I think you mentioned it before, Drew. I think he's earned the chance to play. I think the problem just is there's a lot of left-handed bats, which I'm just like, all right, then get rid of one of them. And unfortunately, the odd man out, I think, is either Edouard Julien or Troy Johnston.
Get him out.
One of them's got to go, which Troy Johnston, again, he's played a lot worse since before. So I think you've got to make one of those decisions if you're DePodesta and Burns, but we'll just have to see what they want to do.
I guess the only thing I put Troy Johnston above Julian is a pure just locker room guy.
Yeah.
Every team needs one.
That's fair.
And he is that to a T.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we'll talk about it later, but Tyler Freeman's another option, which, funny enough, unexpectedly, of course, Julian and Freeman both have negative WAR.
Yeah.
But Tyler Freeman has -2.
He currently
has. Julian only has -1.
Tyler Freeman currently has the lowest WAR in all of baseball. He is currently the least most valuable player in baseball. Because he offers so little defensively, and his offense has been bad this year. That's the only thing he usually offers, and he's been bad. So it's like...
He's not hitting .315 like he was last year.
No.
Even though it was an empty average.
He's an empty batting average. But still, that's better than what he's doing now, where he's hitting .247 with a .630 OPS.
Him and Julian need to go.
I would agree.
They can figure out the infield.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out. Julian doesn't have to play. They have, especially with the versatility of Willie Castro, they should not have to worry at all.
Yeah. See, that's my thing. That's the literal reason. That right there is why you signed Willie Castro, is for stuff like this. Is you can remove both of them, and then Castro can play second, and on days you don't want Castro to play second, you can have Cole Carrick play second, or you call up Ryan Ritter and have him play second, or you have Connor Norby now, you have him play second. You have these options, and I don't know if it's just they don't want to shake up the locker room, but I'm like, I think there has to be a point where you have, the writing has to be on the wall, and it's It's a little reminiscent of older Rockies front offices not cutting bait with guys that they clearly need to cut bait with. Now, granted, it's still early, but I think the time is running out on these guys, and those should be made. Like, the moves should be made.
Yeah.
But then last on the list for players of the week, it was none other than our favorite minor league pitcher here at Altitude Sickness. It was Stu Flesland for the Yard Goats. Did his thing.
The GOAT. He is awesome.
Pitched 7 innings, only allowed 1 hit, no runs, only 1 walk with 7 strikeouts. He was just absolutely insane. It's awesome. I'm just happy that he got a player of the week or pitcher of the week or whatever.
I think we discovered him about a year ago.
Yeah,
I remember the very hole of golf we were at when we discovered, because I think he got some award in like high A or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And we discovered the great Stu Flesland III with like an all-time Rockies name.
Yeah.
It's great to see him doing well. Like, who knows what's in store for him? Mm-hmm. But if he ever puts on a Rockies jersey,
dude, that might be a jersey.
It will be mine.
I may have to.
I don't care if he's there for one day and gets sent down and never gets back up again. If I see they have selected the contract of Stu Flesland III, I will be on the MLB website buying his jersey.
Yeah.
So
I think that's fair.
Glad to see him succeeding. Even though he did not do well in AAA earlier in the year with only 1 appearance. But
yeah. Again, I think it was kind of a spot start thing. So, and he's pretty young, so he's still got time, and he's been doing his thing in AA. So hopefully he'll continue to do it. But we'll see.
He's a 6'5" lefty. I mean, what is more?
Yeah.
What more can you like than Stu Flesland? So,
exactly. I agree.
It's awesome.
Yep. So, but that's it for the players of the week. Real quick minor league update. So we already talked a lot about Zach Veen, how we think that he absolutely deserves to be up at the major league level. I have a bunch of stats here, but I really am not even going to get into it. Like, I feel like it's very clear. Only thing I'm going to say is that, I mean, over the last 30 days, he has a 1262 OPS, and his walk to strikeout ratio is 9-18, which, yeah, sure, but like, that's better than every Rocky probably on the current roster right now in the last 30 days. So I think he's doing his thing while playing solid enough defense, I believe. So someone that...
I mean, he's striking out at the last 30 days, he's striking out under 20%.
Yeah. So
yippee.
Yep, I agree. Someone that has received a decent lot of flack on the pod. I think
from other pods too. We're not alone.
And I think rightfully so. He has not played that well, but in the last 30 days, we'll give him his flowers. Is Adel Amador. He's been doing pretty well at AAA the last month. Where in 84 plate appearances, he's got 19 hits for a 264 average. He's got on base at 369 clip. Slugging 597 for a 966 OPS, which is pretty good. Like, it's pretty solid. He's got 6 doubles and 6 home runs, 13 RBI, and then, I mean, this is huge. This is right here why he has been highly touted for his entire career. Is he's got 12 walks to 5 strikeouts. He's a contact first on base machine, which is what he did for his entire early career in the minor leagues until Bill Schmidt, like a moron, called him up from AA for no reason and just completely threw off his timing. It made no sense to do that. It's crazy how much meddling the front office has done, the old front office had done, and just calling up people way too early and just messing with them. But hopefully he's back on track, because, I mean, he's fully going to be in that second base battle next year barring them trading him, which I don't know what's going to happen. It's hard to say, but I think he's going to be in that second base battle. And like, I'm rooting for anyone to do well. Anyone that can help this team, I want them to. And I think Amador, again, is so young that he still has time to do what he needs to do. He just needs to keep developing, and he's been doing that the last 30 days. I'm happy for him, and I'm glad that he's been doing well. And then another dude that I expect to be on the roster at some point, he should be at some point for the rest of the year, is Ryan Ritter. Last 30 days, 77 plate appearances. He's got 23 hits, so that's a 371 batting average with a 459 on base and a 500 slug for a 959 OPS. He's got 3 doubles, a triple, a homer, 9 RBI. Again, 8 walks to 11 strikeouts, so a pretty solid ratio there. And also 4 stolen bases. And he made a really good diving play in left field, which, again, that's another thing he's adding to his belt, is that he can play the outfield. And so I think that that's just another reason that I think they need to start making some of these moves, because I think that that's exactly what you're doing with him, is you're making him into the mold that Tyler Freeman was, or is, I guess. So, but good for Ryan Ritter. I'm glad that he's been doing well. And it's honestly just made the Isotopes actually just way better. This is probably the best season the Isotopes have had since becoming a Rockies affiliate. They have not had a winning record since 2016. So,
oh my God.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that they can continue to do that, continue doing what they're doing, because the people of Albuquerque absolutely deserve that, like, a team that's actually good. Like, they deserve that. So
yeah, Ryan Ritter has been very consistent all year.
Yeah,
I mean, you have him. He's hitting 371 in the last 30 days. His average this year in AAA, because I think he must have had a rehab assignment or something in ACL. But in AAA, he's hitting 325, which we're not expecting a whole lot of power out of him. Which I feel like most people aren't expecting a lot of power out of their second baseman.
Yeah.
So, an ice cold take for me at the beginning of the year. I thought he was going to be the starting second baseman, but oh well. But he has been good all year long in AAA.
Mm-hmm.
So, hopefully, as we said, Freeman, Julian get DFA and he gets another shot this year. I don't see a world where he doesn't get a shot. Like, he wasn't great last year when he was in the big leagues, but he was at least okay for a guy getting called up for the first time. I'll say that.
Yeah.
He was not a Chad Stevens.
Yeah. So it turns out the Isotopes actually were not 500 in 2016. That was the closest they've been to 500. Oh, man. Yeah, these have been... I think it's just because that was when they were a Rockies affiliate, and before that they were not a Rockies affiliate. Oh, man. Yeah, they were bad. Holy. Sorry, Isotopes. But, so, good for them. Good for the Isotopes. Oh, I didn't realize that they were the Dodgers affiliate before the Rockies.
Yep.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. Look at that. Wow. Whatever.
Was that when did the Rockies switch right from the Sky Sox to the Isotopes?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, because then the Sky Sox became the Brewers, and then they just disappeared. Sadly. But
yeah,
rest in peace, the Colorado Springs Sky Sox. Rest in peace.
The whole stadium's just abandoned.
Yeah,
now.
It's just abandoned now, which is sad. But anyway, fun stuff. Real quick, announcements for transactions today. This happened pretty right before we started recording. Tyler Freeman was actually just placed on the 10-day IL, retroactive to August 9th. With lumbar pain. I don't even know what that is. What's lumbar? Is that like your back?
Back, I think, right?
Okay.
Lower back, yeah.
So lumbar pain. I feel like he was dealing with that earlier this year, like last year. I feel like he was dealing with his back a lot. Yes, because I think we made the joke that he caught it from Chris Bryant. So I think I remember making that joke. So, and then the Rockies recall, shockingly, honestly, Connor Norby from Albuquerque. And now, in all fairness, I think this is exactly why they traded for him, was because they wanted to see if Major League, because he has Major League time, maybe a change of scenery is what he needs. But it is a little scary because this is the second time he's been traded for a change of scenery. And that's usually not a good sign. So we'll just have to see how it works out for him. But who knows? Hopefully, again, I hope it works out and I hope he flourishes, whatever that can make this team better. That's all that I care about.
Yeah. Because he was good once. I'm pulling up his stats, but he was once. I think he's in a very similar to Jake McCarthy.
He was a highly touted prospect for sure when he was traded from the Orioles to the Marlins.
I guess he wasn't great last year on the Marlins.
I think at the major league level, he was not anything special. It was like he was just a highly touted prospect. Like that was his thing. He was a highly touted prospect, and so maybe again change of scenery with the Rockies. He'll be able to do something, but we'll see. Yeah. But other than that, I've got nothing else with that. So home run draft update, Matthew. Do you have it up?
Yes, I do. So in third place, we have Drew with 17 home runs. Jake McCarthy added 2 to his list, with Jake McCarthy being subbed out for Brenton Doyle. Mm-hmm. Second place is me with 33. And in first place, of course, is Anthony with 56. Hunter Goodman has more home runs.
I didn't realize it was that high. I thought it was like I thought it was like 48. I didn't realize.
Hunter Goodman has 34 home runs, so he has more runs than both of our scores. So.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
I mean, it just.
Oh man.
Oh well.
And my goodness, I just thought about this. If Hunter Goodman got traded, your team was cooked.
I mean, I would have still had the 30.
He would have had like a 20-run lead still.
Well, and think about this also. This is still without Zach Veen playing at all. Like, dude, imagine
all three of us have had at least one player not playing.
Yeah,
most if not all the season.
Yeah,
mine is like 2-ish.
Yeah, because you had
Jordan Beck.
Yeah, Jordan Beck and Doyle now. So, but well. All right.
That's all from me.
All right. I was going to say anything else for the good of the order, because I think we wrapped it up pretty good. We had a lot of stuff to talk about. I feel like we talked about it pretty good. So,
if the Rockies in this, so I guess they play. Sorry, ESPN's all goofed. So they have 7 games before our next pod, because we'll be recording before they play on Monday.
Yes.
If they go. Honestly, if they go 3-5, I'll be ecstatic.
Oh, they've 6 games before, because it's 2 3-game series. So before Monday,
1, 2, 3.
Oh, and they're against LA.
Oh, you're right,
bro.
Correct. So in this week, if they go 2-4, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I think 2-4. I think
they need to keep pace.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's what they've got to do, and. I would say, the Giants, even though they're not good, the Rockies do not play good in San Francisco. But who knows? Maybe this time it'll be different. Who knows? But, yep, I think 2-4 is a solid enough thing. But we'll see what they do. But I've got nothing else. Y'all got anything else for the good of the order?
Nope.
All right, cool. Well, thank you all so much for listening or watching. Thank you for the support, and we will talk to you all later. All right, bye.